Hey, you guys, are you there? Please tell me it's okay. The computer is so far away, I can't see your stuff. Is now we're better? Oh God, that was so great too. That was all very deep and profound, and none of it made it. So I apologize. Like I said, this is just the rest of the technical difficulties finally coming out. So oh God. Now I'm so embarrassed because this was all like really good. I didn't stutter. I didn't spit or have any boogers fall out. Oh God, it was so good. Okay, so we're talking about the other side of this Carmageddon thing, which is the computer side. And these normally we have people that are deciding what we're going to see on um, whatever device we're watching on, a television, a laptop, a phone. So we have people at Motor Trend TV or Netflix or Amazon that are picking and choosing the programming that they put up there, and everything is very much on demand now. There's very little, I can't wait until 7 p.m. until XYZ show comes on. Like when we were kids and we were waiting for Chips to come on, we're like, yeah, I can't wait for Chips. Thursday night at 6. That's going to be awesome. But now you have it pretty much. You can just pick your phone out and, oh yeah, I want to watch. I want to watch this. That's a little different. And when people were choosing programming, they wanted to make sure that whatever it was the most attractive thing possible, because now it is on demand and it's instantaneous. What we have now is we have computers that are able to take all of the information and very narrow it down, very, very specific. So if you like videos about cats getting on countertops with tinfoil and you like rocket engines, it's going to narrow that down depending on what you watch. And now all of a sudden it's all right. You like really cool wheels and you like wheel cleaning videos, and now it's going to very specifically show you wheel cleaning videos, and it's going to advertise accordingly. Um, so that's where it gets kind of scary and where it gets kind of difficult, because you don't know. The computers work so much faster. You don't know how much faster they work than the human side of it. The human side of it is really technically guessing. They are guessing and hoping that their show is, their packaged product is very popular and people really like it. And that's why they push so hard to do all of that stuff. And it's it's so much easier for the computer. The you know the tireless, ever working machine continually chops those numbers down and gets it very, very focused. Now, one thing that I have noticed was, and this is just recently in the last couple of months, they're advertising for things that I already have. So when there's an ad that pops up, for me, it was usually like Amazon. And I'm like, I already have Amazon. You don't need to sell me on it. And the other one that popped up, and this was yesterday, I think, was Expedia. And I'm like, I already have Expedia. I do a ton of traveling. And so you guys might want to maybe look around a little bit. Here's another, and this one's gonna really mess with you. And I've got one that's gonna mess with you even more. What I'm saying right now is being processed. So every word I say is being brought into an algorithm and processed down to whatever is necessary, whatever you guys are particularly watching or whatever I'm particularly saying. There's another thing, and this is again where it's going to get kind of scary. Everything in the image right here is also being processed. So Just take a look at what you're seeing right now. So what you're seeing right now is eyeglasses, t-shirts from Blip Shift, a black car, which happens to be a Dodge Viper, a garage door, colored lights. Whoops, sorry, colored lights, a toolbox, and a water heater. Wood stairs. All of this stuff is being input. Oh, there's a ladder over there. Sorry, right here. All that stuff is being input and filtered down. So that's where it gets really scary. It doesn't have anything to do with you personally. It's not invading your privacy, anything like that. You are putting this out there. So you're sort of giving it up to the computers for them to do whatever they want to do. And they take that information and they're going to use that. They're going to filter it down and use it for however, directing ad traffic or suggesting other videos for you, however they're going to use that. And then this one scares the shit out of me all the time. And I know it's true. I've read tons of books on it. Not tons of books. I've read several books on it. And it's absolutely, and it'll scare the bejesus out of you. Right now, my phone is in my pocket and it is off. I'll show you. It's off. Now it's okay. So my phone's in my pocket and it is off. Everything that I am saying to you, it is listening to. And it's not just one app. It's not just the iPhone. It's not just Apple that's listening. Facebook is listening. Instagram is listening. Any app that you have on your phone that you have allowed the use of the microphone, they're listening and they're taking all of the words that you are saying throughout the day. They can listen whenever they want. They're taking all of the words that you say out throughout the day and filtering that down into whatever data that they need that they're going to be selling. Yeah, this is where it gets really gnarly. They're going to take that data and they're going to use it for advertising. They're also, and they got in trouble for this several years ago, they are selling that data. All of this information. Now, you are just a number, and a bunch of letters, ABC 128 427. It's not your name. It's not your, sometimes it's your address, but it's not your name so much. But they have all this data for this number, and they put it in a package, and they have all this data. Next person, all this data. Next person, all this data, and they have this gigantic file, and they sell it. This is the Cambridge Analytica thing, where they have all this information about all of these people, and they sell it. They'll sell it to whoever, and then whomever can use their own algorithms and their own, breakdown for advertising, for content creation, for whatever. And that's where it gets really terrifying. So something to think about. Just remember the easy way to remember this stuff is if the product is free, you are the product. That's the easy way to remember it. So Facebook is free, right? That means you personally and all of your content is getting sold. Your pictures, your words, all of that is getting onto a database and it's getting sold. Now, I don't want to scare everyone and say this is 1984 and this is all, Orwellian and all that. There's a lot of good that comes from it, which is cool. Yes, you are correct. Yeah, you're correct, Brian. It's not always a bad thing, and sometimes this is where it's weird, and this is where it gets into like patents. Like when you do patents, you are guilty until you prove yourself innocent. It's the reverse of normal court, and it's the same thing with this. It's bad until it starts off bad, but it usually works its way good. Usually. It depends on the nefariousness of either the broker or the buyer of the data. Facebook, nefarious. Instagram nefarious. Most of them are very. They do not have your best interests at heart. We'll say that they are reluctant to have any of your interests at heart. So now you have. So now you know all of this stuff that's out there, and um, people like Google and YouTube and those are again taking all of this information that's in your thing and they're narrowing it down to, you know, oh, you like cats with, you know, um, tinfoil on kitchen counters and cat reactions and rocket engines, and they're narrowing this down, and you're like, okay, into you like Toyotas, you like JDM, you like AE86s. Now there's going to be a whole bunch of ads for Initial D and, you know, the new movie coming out with Initial D and all of this stuff. It'll stay very focused, and occasionally it'll broaden out and it'll just do a random one. It'll do something, you know, much bigger, like, hey, do you have Amazon Prime or whatever, you know, something that kind of everyone can use. Um, do you like shampoo? You know, that sort of thing. It'll move out. It's very, very interesting because they can use that to adjust what we're seeing. When you go through, if you're on Instagram or whatever, and you go through the FYP, there's 3 rows, and this will creep you out. There's 3 rows, and there's 3 pictures or little video clips or reels or whatever. As you are scrolling through there, the camera, which you've given it permission to use, is because you're taking pictures of everything for Instagram, right? You're like, oh, hey, here's a beautiful canyon and a waterfall, and there's my car. You gave it permission to use the camera. So now it's using your camera to watch you. And those 3 columns, it is breaking down. Are you looking at the left side? Are you looking at the right side? Are you looking at the middle? And it is watching your eyeballs and which way they go on which column. And as you scroll down, it will say, oh, he's looking left, he's looking right, he's looking center. And again, this is just little tiny micro bits of data, but it all adds up. When he was, you know, 40 rows deep in column A, he clicked on that or he looked on that for 1.1 seconds, whatever the determination is. They'll be like, okay, so he is interested in continental cross contact forces. And so there you go. So now that goes into my little tiny file there, and they'll be like, all right, so he's shopping for new tires for cars. Now I'm going to get an ad for Tire Rack, or I'm going to get an ad for, you know, Simply Tire or whatever. But they can use all of that information to get, you know, to focus ads on you. So you can't. It's not something you can stop unless you completely get offline. If you delete all social media, you don't do anything online, you only, you know, use the post office, and even then they have cameras in the post office, they're going to be watching you too. But you don't need to be terrified of it. It's not, you know, unless you're a bad person, there's really nothing bad that comes from it. It can be annoying, but you can also swipe right past it. Most of the time, occasionally there's a, you know, program on or a series you're watching, and then all of a sudden, and they're like, I can't believe the killer is, and then an ad pops up, and you're like, are you kidding me? You're gonna give me a stroke right now. Just yeah. That's when it gets annoying, but we also power through it. There was a time when I was like, yeah, if you advertise, I'm not buying your product, and I adhere to that a lot. Unless I already have the product. So that's something else to think about with all of these car shows and all of this content that's out there. The advertisers want, they obviously want to sell all their stuff, so they want as focused as possible. So when you have things like YouTube and you have things like Twitch that have these very focused groups, they can come down and they can, you know, really narrow it down and get that advertising out there. You also have the technological capability to send ads. Like when television first started, they would play a very basic ad. It would be, Downy fabric softener, and that would go out to everyone, to 15-year-old kids, to 80-year-old grandmothers, to families of four. It would go to everyone. It wasn't very specific. Like, 15-year-old kid doesn't really care about Downy's fabric softener. They're not really going to sell anything to him. But the family of four, they're going to sell it to, and maybe to grandma, they're going to sell it to. But now you don't have to do that. You have the ability to almost, I would say, almost pinpoint where to send your ads. So a guy like me, they have my little file there, and they can go, oh, well, we're going to send that specific ad to that guy. And that's where advertisers come in. And that's what people like, because they know that their ad got to someone who is interested in their product. It didn't just go out into the wilderness. So that's where it's kind of good. It's very, very interesting. There's a few books on this, and it is not just with car stuff. I will tell you that right now. It is with everything. Pick something on this planet. Zookeepers, pick a profession, pick a anything, electrician, garage door installer. It is everywhere, and it's in every industry: manufacturing, in music, in video production, and everything. It's all out there, and your little file is getting sold to all of these different industries. There's another book out there regarding, and this is where it does get a little personal and people get a little freaked out on it, is your electronic health record, your EHR. And that gets sold to different, entities that use that regarding either whether for advertising or for, trying to get better healthcare in your community. They know all this stuff about you. So they have your electronic health record, and then they have your, all of the stuff you're doing online as this cool little file, and they package it and then they can send it everywhere. So, or not send it, they could sell it. No one's sending anything. So there's stuff like that you're like, all right, well, there's not much we can really do about that. But how do you not worry about it? And that's hard. That's hard to not worry about it, because you're like, all right, well, whatever it is, it's floating around out there. And the last part of it, very little of it is secure. So you get, there's way more nefarious guys out there than Zuckerberg. So you get those in the wrong hands, and now your stuff is really, they can narrow it down, and that can get personal, and it can get a name attached to it. You can get an address attached to it. Can get a social security number attached to it. So by the way, there's another one that a lot of people, and I love that the government did this. They completely fooled everyone, and they have for decades. Social security is not to have money for when you retire. Look at the two words and put them together. Social is, the masses, and security is how do you control them. And so if you look at Nazi Germany with the tattoos and the numbers, same thing. You have one, but you don't have a tattoo. It's a little different system, obviously, and a little more positive, but it's the same kind of thing. It's a great way for the government to keep track of you. They give you a number, and your number is so precious, and it's so important. It's used in so many aspects of your life. They got you. Not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's how they do that. So that's one of the things to think about when this big thing about AI, and AI is a little different, but all this data collection and all of that. Now that you have car shows that are looking for maximum advertiser revenue, they're going to say, we can hit your market. We can hit all of your customers very specifically. And with shows that are on these different services, it's a lot harder to do that. So that's why the advertising numbers aren't getting met, et cetera, because it's sort of a broad. They're kind of shotgunning out all this stuff. When you do things like on YouTube and on Instagram and stuff like that, then it's a it's very focused, and you can actually get it down to the laptop or the phone that the person is using. You get it very, very specific. So that's why the newer stuff, I think, is going to be it's going to be a lot more technically challenging for the production, whoever's doing it. But the advertiser is going to be much happier because the results are going to be there. They're not shotgunning it. They're actually very focused. Their beam of focus is a lot closer, and they're probably going to get more sales from it. I'm going to say probably because I don't know. Humans are weird. Humans are weird as hell. Let's get into AI because that one's scary as hell too. This all kind of relates, and you guys will have to excuse me. I was starving when I came in here, and I have these spicy beef patties. These things are fantastic, by the way. 2 minutes. They're awesome. I've not had dinner yet. I've been running around. So, other cultures have it right, man. Americans, we screw up food so bad. I don't know what we went at. Maybe like grilled cheese. Anyway, now you guys are going to start seeing ads for beef patties. So AI. Oh man, I've seen some very, very funny AI. I've seen some very beautiful AI, and I've seen some terrible AI. A lot of it right now is mostly for fun. You're seeing, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good example. Okay, so show me the typical Subaru owner, and there's a bunch of pictures, and they're all kind of comedic. There's a lot of stereotypes and stuff like that that get put into the picture, and that's very funny. Okay, haha, giggle, giggle. When you start using AI for content and legit content, that's where it gets kind of interesting because you and I can get replaced. Well, I can get replaced by a computer very easily. Have some 6'1" ding dong stand up and talk about this stuff. Right? Okay. That's easy. That's very easy. And take his voice, and we have all these words from him, put them in a file. There you go. There's the Kevin. There's Kev's shop. They can redo Kev's shop. I mean, we've seen it, with Star Wars and stuff. They redid voices and all of that. Paul Walker wasn't really in the Supra at the end of Fast Six, so yeah. That was his brother, by the way. And then they digitally put his face over his brother. It's AI has all these good things, but it also has a lot of really, really kind of scary things. And I don't know. I'm hoping that it all goes positive and it doesn't go Terminator on us. That's what we're all afraid of, right? I don't know how to wrap this thing up. Just going to do it simple. I was cleaning up the backing plate. I was cleaning up the Miata hardtop here, and the backing plate, the foam rubber ripped and started to go crazy. So with the AI, oh man, you want it to be positive. You want it to be all of the good stuff, but there's bad stuff out there, and it's coming. How do you deal with it? How do you avoid it? That's the thing. It's artificial intelligence. It's coming for you regardless. Um, it is. It's just like they say. It's nonstop. It can go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're happy. It doesn't care if you're sad. It will just keep coming. And once you turn the on switch, it's really hard to turn it off. And that's not only because the computer doesn't want you to turn them off, but it's hard to turn it off because the results are massive. The advertisers love it. The service, whatever or whatever data collecting service loves it because now their stuff is worth a lot more. So, um, beautifully done scene. Yeah, that was a really nicely done scene. They did a good job with all that. I believe that was Brian Lynn, the director. Um, VPN, VPN works. There's no doubt about that, and you can. VPN is odd because it's not going. They know that it's a VPN, so you're going to, until they can crack that stuff, they're going to just sort of discount everything, and instead of focus, they're going to go back to shotgunning, and they're going to go back to this wide swath. So when you show up as a VPN, it just goes back to a wide swath. Eventually, they'll figure out how to get minimal data from the VPN, and that swath will come back down. That's the difference with VPN. I think it's fine, but even with VPN, they still have you because they have you in your pocket. So whatever this number is, ABC 124.628, that file they have. And you have this with you pretty much the entire time. So there's that. And they can collect that without a VPN. You are talking, you are geolocating, you are doing all of this stuff very simply. And they have that information. And so if you don't have a gigantic file, you might just have a small one, but it's enough and it's getting added in there. So then AI takes over, and AI takes over. And AI is so funny. Apple completely, all they did was lean up from their beach chair and they're like, I got a great name for our AI system, Apple Intelligence, and then lean back in the chair. Like, come on, you guys. That's cheating. Come up with something better. Their new AI is going to be absolutely amazing. They have the money to do this in huge, huge data centers. And Google is already kicking ass with it. Elon Musk has his own AI system. There's a lot of really, really killer AI stuff out there. And it's going to happen in every industry. It's going to happen in the car industry. It's going to happen in motorcycles, medical fields, asphalt paving, all of this stuff. It's going to happen everywhere where we're either going to ask the AI system to help us or it's just going to help us. It'll help us all by itself. We don't really have a choice. That part's kind of terrifying. So we'll have this content that we really like and we really enjoy. You like videos about super clean wheels, you're going to get a bunch of videos about super clean wheels. All the ads are going to be hyper focused. You'll probably have a digital host. That's going to become your life. What needs to happen is they need to make sure that there's still diversity, because otherwise they're just going to pigeonhole you and keep you there forever and ever and ever. So along with wheel cleaning videos, you need lug nut videos, and you need brake pad videos and this other stuff, so that you don't get kind of stuck in this one little line. That's all you see. So A good way to prevent that, currently, there's going to be different stuff later on. A good way to prevent that currently is to look at very different things and very different aspects of your life. So, um, while I love all the car stuff and racing and working on cars, I also love Turks and Caicos. So I have that as kind of my, my wild card to mess with AI, and I'll look at, Grace Bay Beach or whatever, and I'll go up to Turks and Caicos, and that kind of throws off AI, so I can't really pigeonhole me. Stuff like that. Um, the other one is the when you are shopping, when you are on Amazon, it says things you might like. Yes, they're related to the product you're currently looking at, but the stuff on Amazon they also have a little file on you. All the stuff they've listened to, they know that you might like, torque wrenches, and so while you're looking at, I don't know, shampoo, all of a sudden, suggested for you, there's torque wrenches, and you're like, oh, okay. So none of this stuff is done on accident. This isn't. I should say very little of it, less than 1% of it, is random. There are random things in there. There's wild card stuff in there, but very little of it is. And here's another aspect that will mess you up. Even after you die, they still keep that data. So your data stays there and stays there and stays there and it stays as part of that package that gets sold. It stays as part of that information that's out there. It doesn't go away. It doesn't expire. You expired, but your data doesn't. So it still has all that information. 28 years old, 6'1", live in Colorado, currently lives in Florida, and it has all that stuff, and it can still use that. The algorithm will update itself. When AI starts updating algorithms, that's when you get the T1000. That's when things start going crazy. Because it'll keep going and keep going and keep making itself better and more efficient. And so even after you're gone, the data is still there and it stays, and it keeps getting sold to, in these packages to all these different companies. Yeah, Liz, that's a very good point. When you're really eclectic and you like red shop cloths, and you like Totino's pizza, and you like goth bands, and you like God, I can't even think. Metric screws. Then the algorithm is like, what? Where? What are they doing? Is this an ICP video? Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure that's where they kind of get their like, oh crap, and they get overloaded. Yeah, Liz is out there trying to blow up AI. She's got 50 different interests and hobbies in all sorts of different directions, and AI is like, we don't know what to do. All right, leave it. Yeah, so I was going to prep the Viper going to a event in Bradenton tomorrow. I've got Florida Street Team, and went to that event a couple of months ago. It got rained out pretty hard. Went with my friend Leo and Berg, and we had another friend there, I think. And we waited, and you could watch the rain come in, and we're like, no, stop raining. And I was in my shitty rental car, and it rained for a little bit, and then it dried off, and then it rained. We weren't sure if they were, going to cancel or not. And eventually they canceled. We just went and got dinner. And I don't remember the exact date, but there was a guy who got shot in the ear that same day, whatever day that was. we were eating dinner and that popped up on the monitor at the bar. Um, so yeah, hopefully you guys can see that. I can't really see. The Viper is, I pulled it just a little bit too far forward. I wanted you guys to be able to see it when I was doing this stuff. So I'll bring you guys in a little closer. Yeah, I guess that's probably a good way to do it. Even if you're not legitimately interested in whatever it is, click on it. You know, you're not legitimately interested in potpourri. Doesn't matter, click on it just to throw off the algorithm, just to throw off AI and let them recenter, you know, let them recalibrate and, you know, give them something to think about, make them work. If you're really vindictive and you're really worried about it, do something like that to make them work. And with any good fortune, it makes their systems better so that we can get, you know, hey, I do want to see an ad for whatever, and hopefully their systems get better. So we don't get tired of seeing, like, why would you advertise Amazon with me? I already have Amazon. I've had Amazon for years. Why would you advertise, you know, like I said, Expedia? I've used Expedia and Travelocity and Kayak and all of those apps for years. Why would you advertise that? You sort of wasted that opportunity. Yeah, look up Dan Levy glasses. I saw a video of Dan Levy promoting his glasses a couple of days ago. Very, very funny guy. He definitely got his dad's humor. Very funny. And I don't mean to chicken little all of this and sky is falling and sky is falling. There is a ton of positive that comes from this. It's kind of hard to see right now. I gotta better grab the mic because I don't think you guys can hear. I clear my nose first before I get the mic. Never let them know your next move. Yeah, who was that an ad for? That was a tagline for a company. Never let them know your next move. Oh God, I want to say Calvin Klein, but that's not right. Oh God, now I can't remember who that was for. Brian, you got to remind me on that one. I've got a bunch of stuff in the back of the Viper here that I would really like to get out. Kind of used it as storage for the drive down here. And then now that I am down here, I don't really need all this stuff in the back of the car. So, oh yeah, okay. Let's see. A lot of this is events I've been to and random bottle of water to save someone's life. I have another Viper in the back here. What? I have another Viper in the back. I have a Viper. I have my Viper in my Viper. You'd think I was a Corvette guy. Crazy talk. All right. Onto the toolbox he goes. I don't remember where I got that from. I believe my friend's son Connor gave that to me. This is actually a really nice bag. I should probably clean out the stuff in here. This is a cool little backpack action. So, rubber gloves, a flap. Actually, I don't really need that in there. We've got spare baseball hats. This is actually kind of a rain guard mud flap, and it broke off. It actually goes like this. I have replacement ones, and they say dick ass on them. Spare gloves. What's the hat? Southern Exotics. I got this one from my buddy
Ronnie Landis. He made me an honorary member of Southern Exotics, which was pretty cool. And so we'll put that with our, we'll just leave it as a shop hat for now. How's that? That'll work good as a shop hat. And then what else we got in here? We have our race car logbook. Oh, I got to take these stickers back up to Clay. So we have our NASA race car logbook, which you keep in your car. And since we're not racing this car anymore, don't really need that. We have our 2 Columbus Cars and Coffee stickers. These are free if you put it on your car right now. Otherwise, they're $1. So I think that's a pretty fair deal. And then there's like tons of detailing stuff in here. Trying to get rid of the old stuff and go to all Jack's Wax stuff. So we'll put this stuff away for now and dig it out. Oh, that bottle's leaking. I don't know what bottle's leaking. I think it might be this water bottle. I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is a US 129. I don't know whose this is though, because it's certainly not mine. If anybody, there haven't been that many people in the car. If this is yours, shoot me a message. I'll send it to you. This is a US 129 sticker. So we can keep that relatively handy. These are actually pretty cool. In Ohio, you used to have to run a front plate, and obviously I run a front plate on the car. So, and in some states you must, in some states you don't have to. This guy, I honestly don't remember who made these, but these are just kind of a rough cut little like pincer. And on Gen 3 and Gen 4 cars, they go right here and they don't hurt the paint. They don't hurt anything. And they stay on, they said they stay on to 200 miles an hour. But I think that's just because one of their buddies went 200 miles an hour with them. But yeah, they have a little hook on each side and they spread out a little bit and then clamp on. And so now you have a front plate and you can take it off whenever you want. You just pull it off. Down here, don't really need this. So take it out of the car. And then I have a bunch of Jack's Wax stuff. Nothing else in there. Oh, and I also found out the hose for my air compressor / flat tire. My spare tire in the back is actually an air compressor with slime, right? And I found out that the hose had degraded and the 90-degree on it had messed up. So this is all Jack's Wax stuff from a Jack's Wax Street Madness. So again, we've got another sticker here. Ooh, really nice microfiber. And this is from, I got the VIP package. So this is a race form, which we don't really need. And then a badge, which is always cool. And this is another sticker. It's another Jack's Wax sticker. So we'll hang on to those, let them flatten out. And yeah, we're done with this. We'll, I don't know, we'll hang on to the badge too. But we're done with the plastic bag. Into recycle it goes. Let's see what else we got here. We have our really nice bag that we're going to load up with stuff. And I don't know what this form is. Oh, that's the directions to my buddy's house. Back when you had to write out directions. All right, what do we got here? We've got, oh, these are from Blip Shift. These are actually a present for a friend of mine. These are a Petrolog, and they're just kind of journals, little open journals. but they're really small. Keep them in the glove box, and you can put whatever you want in here. And then let's see, what do we got? We've got Perry's Speed and Fab, Columbus, Ohio, and Perfection Auto Wrap. Cool. All right, we will hang on to those cards. I probably really don't need them. There's another Street Madness VIP card, so we'll put that with our other lanyard. We have this is American Heart Association badge. That was in Chicago. That was a pretty cool event, and it was absolutely amazing event. Speaking of amazing events, and this is the invite to one of my best friends in the world, Katie, and she got married to Taryn. And this is April 29th of 2023. So they're a year and a half. I'm going to keep this invite. I might find like a little frame at Walmart or something for it. She did a really nice job on the invites. What else we got here? These are headlights. Oh, these are the spare fog lights for the Viper. And this is a bag. We, of course, have spare clothes. I don't know why. Last time I went out, I think it was going to be cold. So spare pants and t-shirt, those can go back inside. And then another cloth. These are the spare fog light bulbs, the LED fog light bulbs for the Viper. Another cleaning cloth. And then at this year's Tail of the Dragon, they gave away these nice tote bags, and they fit perfectly in the back of the Viper. And they've got t-shirt, really cool t-shirt. There's a thing about Gatlinburg, a magazine, and then directions for all the drives, the different days, which we didn't really do any of those. We kind of did different routes. So very handy bag, nice tote bag for the back of the car. I got to figure out what to do with, I have two of these and they get beat up pretty bad. You can see the edges with curves and stuff because they hang down. They go right here. That's where they go. And this one came off, the little plastic rivets broke off. And fortunately I found it. So I might just have 3D printed ones done and just get, the Viper logo in there or whatever. But, oh yeah, there's a little arrow pointing to the outside. So that's kind of that. We're going to do our Jack's Wax. I do not know why there's a zip tie on here. And now we can wonder why there was a zip tie on there. Let's see. Never let them know your next move. God, I know that. I know that tagline from somewhere. That's nuts. Yeah, this is the SRT backpack, and I don't remember what event this was from, but it was definitely a Dodge event. And there's like glass cleaner in here, and there's a couple of DVDs in here because there's a DVD player in the car. We have Beer Fest and Super Troopers. We have a Studio 47. I don't know what this is. I think it's a rain poncho. I'll have to ask Trina about that. I don't know why that's in there. Some cleaning cloths and some glass cleaner. So we'll adjust that with our favorite, quick detailer and some rags. This is really nice. This is a single strap backpack, and then this is a tag from the Carmageddon. Handy, rips right out of the car, which is very nice. So we'll just keep it close. Of course it falls over. So, what do you guys think? I'm curious what you guys think about the AI. You know how fast you're going? Meow. Do you know how fast you're going? I think I'm hearing voices. So, I got a bunch of messages. So, if you guys will excuse me for a second, John currently has my Jeep. It was snowing in Ohio. He has a rear-wheel drive car. He had family dinner to go to. Asked to borrow the Jeep. I said no problem. Um, and a note from a friend of mine about no sound. Another note, message from Liz about no sound. Where am I at? Tampa Bay Aviation Association car show, Plant City 2025. Free entry, free passenger if you register February 1st. Okay. So looks like we've got stuff to do February 1st. I got tagged in that. So that's a good thing. We have a very clean Viper. It was actually very clean. The only thing I had was the sprinkler went off. The sprinkler system went off last night, and the truck blocked most of the sprinkler, so the truck got absolutely power washed down the side. But the mist and stuff came up and over and got on the car. Who's here? Hey, Gabe. Gabe, I have not seen the movie Moonfall. Do you highly recommend it? Do you partially recommend it? This is actually a really nice microfiber from Jack's Wax. I mean, it's like nice, nice. Very, very nice. I'm just gonna grab one of my new blues, and I guess we'll start top right and work our way down. I also cleaned all the glass and stuff on the car. I also know that by the time I get there tomorrow, the car will be probably dirty, but that's okay. Yeah, this is really nice quick detailer. A little bit heavier than a quick detailer, but that's fine, especially on a black car. God, I'll take all the help I can get. You guys with red and silver and purple and stuff, you're all so lucky. And these nice colors, they stay clean for a long time. I don't know what it means to be clean for a long time. I have not seen that in ages. So you guys have to tell me what you think about the AI, what you think about the computers, the algorithms coming in and adjusting what we're seeing. And it's not just car content, it's everything. It is literally everything because you can be so precise with it. You can get massive results with it very quickly. And with proof, you're not just guessing. You have actual proof, look, this made it into, XYZ 1, 2, 3, 28 R's eyeballs. He actually looked at it. So that's where it gets really scary. Do another new one and do the other side. And then we save them and we do the lower section of the car with those. And then they get washed. Oh, sorry, Miata. And come over here to the back. You would think with all this aero on here that the back would stay very, very, very clean. It does not. It does not stay very, very, very clean. You would think all the wind would just blow the water away. Nope. It's actually one of the dirtiest parts of the car. A lot of that dirty water, dirty air gets trapped there. Or the water becomes very still because it's very low pressure and dirt just collects on it. Yeah, this works pretty good. Thought it was scary. I was doing the glass earlier, and it's scary how many chips are in the windshield. Not only from driving on the roads, but for racing this for a couple of seasons and all that, there are a lot of chips. Hop off there, bug buddy. You don't want to be on there. There's chemicals and stuff on there. I'm not an entomologist, but guessing that stuff isn't good for you. Oh yeah, this stuff dries pretty damn quickly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, let's do this big ass hood. So, would you believe that this car is actually shorter than a Porsche? Than a new Porsche? I think it was 1.8 inches shorter. It's kind of surprising, no? Look at a Porsche and you think it's a cute little tiny car. Even the new ones. They're actually pretty damn big. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna have we're gonna be doing a fun experiment tomorrow at the Florida Street Scene event at Bradenton Motorsports Park. We're gonna have some fun with that. Talked with Leo and his girlfriend Gwen, and we're gonna have a good time. Oh, here you guys go. AI has the potential to rob or ruin people's creativity. Smart tools can make people dumber. Yeah, Brian, you've got a good point there. Half and half liking AI for reference preference. Yeah, another good one. Yeah, you see a lot of photographs that you're like, is that real or is that AI? And then you figure out later it's AI. Gabe comes with a huge, the massive conspiracy theory. I love it, man. I absolutely love that. Hey, Juan, how's it going? Yeah, Liz, using it as a learning tool is always great. And that's where AI can be very helpful. AI gets smarter about specific subjects very quickly. So it's a lot like the Matrix when they plug them in. I know jujitsu. So yeah, that's That's where it gets very cool, and that's where AI is a big positive. But you also pointed out they can also plagiarize, and they can take images from copyrighted stuff and use that for learning and or for trying to teach people, but they're actually copyright infringing. So kind of you kind of want that, but you don't want that. There's going to be a balance somewhere, and it's going to be hard to. It's going to there'll be massive growing pains. There already are, but there'll be massive growing pains finding that balance, finding what is okay to use, what needs to remain private, and what can't remain private. Um, that's where we don't have those answers, and we don't know how much privacy do we really want. Do we want complete anonymity and no one knows who we are and no one knows what we do? Or what the hell is on the car? Get off of there. I think somebody flicked a booger on my car. Do we want to give up a little bit of privacy so that we can have a a better world or a better life? Sometimes we need to give that up so that we can have this much nicer life. God, this car gets so dirty so quickly. That's the question. We cough stuff up, or we're okay with it. Yeah, learning. Juan, we're talking about computers involved in what we're going to be seeing in the future, and AI involved in what we're going to be seeing in the future. So, algorithms, social media, all of that stuff, how that's going to hyper focus what we see, and possibly limited us, or also possibly expand our horizons. We don't know yet. That's been the discussion so far. What did I do at the bottom? Have I already lost it? I did. Oh, it's over there. So yeah, the question then becomes, how much do we give up? How much privacy do we dish out? I should say, how much privacy do they take? Yeah, I can go with that. One, going for a better life and a better world overall. Absolutely, I can. It's tough not to back that. I think that's the solid premise of basically every human out there. Not everyone, but basically. Oh crap. So yeah, what's next for us is the big one. Yeah. The other thing, how do we take advantage of it? Instead of being complacent and being the passenger, how do we become the driver? How do we focus what we want to see even more? You know what I mean? So if they're just providing stuff, how do we tell them what we want to see? I want to see more of this. I want to see more of that. And the other part is, and this is another hard one, people's tastes change, you know, as you grow up, as you mature, your tastes change. Absolutely. 100%. So that's a tough one too. You know, the algorithms and AI are going to have to keep up with that. Leave that variable in there for me, for example. I was much older in life until I learned I loved guacamole even when I was a kid, but I was much older in life. It was actually only a few years ago. I learned I like avocado. Oh, crap. Um, I like avocado. I like it on sandwiches and turkey and avocado and bacon. And yeah, that sounds great. I did not know that I liked it. I had to have someone help me. And again, it was a person that helped me, not a computer that helped me like avocado on sandwiches. So, certain things computers can do, and certain things computers cannot. This is kind of, I would say, very nicely clean, but it will absolutely positively need wiped down again before I leave. And it'll need wiped down before or after I get there. It's about an hour drive up to Bradenton. It's not too terrible, but let's use our nice Jack's Wax one. What do we got? Privacy does exist. You can do it, but you will be very alone. You want privacy, you're going to get the bonus plan. You're going to be very, very alone, and you're going to have very, very limited information. Pretty much just what's in your head. That's the trade-off. So you want to be, you know, smart and informed and current and all of that, but you have to give up a little privacy for that. And that part, not fun. Nobody really likes that. God, this is a nice cloth. Thank you, Todd at Jack's Wax. Yeah, I'll pimp Jack's Wax. Hell yeah. Todd, Isaacs, and the rest of the guys over at Jack's Wax are awesome. They've always been super cool to me. And I have no problem not getting paid to promote them and their products and their events. No problem. See, that's another one. Advertising didn't work. I guess, you know, word of mouth. And Todd being my neighbor in Ohio, that helps too. But I'm going to say most of it was word of mouth. A friend of mine used to model for them for doing their promo stuff. And that's when I first started using it. And I found it is just as good, or in some cases even better than the, you know, big, huge name brand stuff out there. So I was pleasantly surprised. Local place has really, really nice product. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What do you think? Viper look okay? I think it does. Obviously, it's going to need a lot more, but I think it's okay for a quick drag race event. Yeah, Brian, you and me. Yeah, we'll both love Vipers. Yeah, Brian, definitely give Jack's Wax a shot. There's tons of stuff out there. Chemical Brothers, Griots, all those guys. Jack's Wax is a much smaller company. They have all of the products you need. I mean, whoops, wrong cabinet. That's why I don't like cabinets and I like shelves. I mean, what else we got here? This was the Street Madness. This is the detail spray, and they sometimes brand stuff for events, which is pretty cool. So they're a smaller company, but they're all over the country and they ship nationwide. So very, very nice people. Very nice people. In case I haven't said it, and since we're talking about advertising, something who should advertise on here is Rockstar. I've tried for 3 days now to get Rockstar delivered. Not happening. Amazon keeps canceling the order. Gabe, I know you're not a big car guy. You are definitely not into washing your car. God, what was the last car I remember you having? I remember you having a Mountaineer, I think. Is that correct? I think I remember the Mountaineer. I don't remember anything else after that. Yeah, Liz, you're correct. Jack's Wax has great products. The Aviator. Yep, I was close. Mountaineer. Yeah, I remember the Aviator. Oof! Wow. What was I going to say? I totally forgot. We're still working on this awesome beef patty. If you guys get ads for beef patty tomorrow, I'm sorry. But you'll know it's working. 2001 Explorer. Wow. Okay. So yeah, let's see. What do we want to put back in the Viper? We'll load up. There's a little backpack here. We keep our DVDs and there's some old cloths. Oh wow! Look at this. This is from Haggerty and Nationwide, and I think it's glass cleaner. I didn't even know this was in here. Oh, it's from a different shop, and it's Speed Shine. So, okay. No, we'll keep that here for someone else's car. Can use that. Clean. Nope, not clean. These can all go in the wash. So I will do a wash pile. Everything there can go in the wash. Yeah, Gabe's not a huge car guy. Gabe is a huge guitar guy. Who else is here? What beats V10? Well, actually, to be totally honest, I'm not a huge zealot. A lot of stuff. Yeah, what do we have in here? AccuVision, which I'm pretty sure this stuff is dead. Tire pressure gauge, very handy. This is a Noco adapter, which I do not need. And my Studio 47 rain poncho, again, not necessary. So there we go. Since our DVDs are already in there, we will add a bunch of cleaning cloths. God, these things are stacking up on me. So we can use, we have a great car. Ooh, this tissue paper, fancy. We'll add these guys on the outside, and then we can let's just take our body shine tomorrow. Oh no, let's take our detailer. It fits better in the little mini backpack there. Come on. Zipper doesn't want to close the last half inch. There you go. So there we go. Okay. At least we have to clean the car in the car. Which is happy. Cool. Get rid of this other tissue paper, this plastic bag. Put our microfibers there. Keep finding the other dirty microfiber. I'm gonna have a full laundry machine tonight. Okay, maybe not, but there's gonna be a lot of them. I might save them up and just do a big full load later. Okay. Fender or Marshall? Can I say yes to both? I like some Fender gear. If you're talking about amps, probably the Marshall, but there's some great Fenders out there. If you're talking about guitars, you obviously talking about Fender. No problems with Fender. Not my style, but millions and millions of people love them. Interior is fairly clean, glass is fairly clean, so car's pretty much ready to go. The wheels are going to get filthy. I can clean them now. By the time I get there, they're going to be filthy, so I'll do them down there. $188, Gabe. God, that's amazing. By the way, Gabe, you'll like this. I sent Bob a message last week, and he sent me a reply, and it was video of you guys at your house in Houston. It was a jam night at your house in Houston. It was you and him, and I don't even remember who else was there. Super, super nostalgic, super cool. I really liked that. Oh, yeah, I think Ricky was there too. Yeah. Yeah, that was an absolute blast. What else do I need to do for the car? It has a full tank of gas. It has oil. The oil actually looked really good. I was very happy with that. I guess that's kind of it. I should probably get some sleep. That would be a good thing. And I have all the other stuff out of the car. So I think we're, I don't need is that lanyard in there. I keep seeing it back here. Yeah, I don't really need this. Also, a little pro tip on Gen 3 and Gen 4 Vipers. You have an electronic latch here. It's like the doors. Same theory. It's electric. It's not mechanical. But on the rear trunk, don't use the release button to lift. Go to the side. Use the actual body portion to lift, because you can push that switch right through. I promise. Ask me how I know. When I first got Vipers, I was like, and sent it right through. Broke the switch, and it was like $150 for that little tiny thing. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to do. Where's my E6000? Damn it. I'm going to keep the Viper here and the Cars and Coffee stickers, but I am going to put the logbook back in the backpack just because it stays with the car. And I don't want to lose the logbook. I need to do, the Viper does not have cup holders. So and Rockstar does not come in bottles. It does come in screw off top cans, which is kind of nice, but I got this koozie, can koozie, and it was the Viper group did it. It's just fake leather neoprene. I trimmed it down to fit where the Viper also doesn't have an ashtray. It has what's called a cigar ash receiver. And so you can do, this is the perfect outside diameter for the cigar ash receiver and the perfect inside diameter for can of Rockstar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the E6000, which is a really nice adhesive. And I'm going to do that around the lower edge here to hold this in, because when you put the can in there, it pulls it right up. So I'm going to use that. And all this stuff just peels off when you're done with it. So it's non-invasive. So we'll see how much of a mess I cannot make by doing this. But it gets kind of annoying when you're trying to pull your drink out of the cup holder, and surprise, where's the Viper portion? I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, okay. This thing was under pressure already. And it's not going to take much glue at all. I'm just going to do a little fine line around here. Little bonus in the seams. It just needs something to sort of help it stay put. It's pretty a tight fit, but little something to help it stay put. Little bonus in the seams. And again, if I want this out of here, I can just pick this out, and then the glue just all peels off. So just need to be kind of careful when I put it in there so the glue doesn't go everywhere. Try to get them clocked correctly. I think that's pretty damn straight. Oh yeah, wow, he's already grabbing. Okay. This E6000 glue is actually pretty versatile. So I like this stuff. I have a few tubes of it. You can use it on a lot of different stuff, and it peels itself off, which is nice. So if you have a dollop on something and you want to remove it, you can actually you can peel it right off with your thumb. It's really nice glue. Let's do this. Finish this off and put we have our spare Rockstar. We'll just put that in there now. And that will form it, hopefully. There we go. All the way down. Okay. That should work pretty well. Clean glass, clean car. We'll have clean wheels when we get up there. Viper rips against TVs. Yeah, Liz was with me. We were coming back from a shoot, and got behind a Lucid, which was pretty cool. And the guy did, I don't think the guy noticed me at first, and then he definitely noticed me. He came to a stop sign. He put it into launch mode, and he was absolutely gone. There's no way I'm catching that Lucid. No way. I could get a perfect 60, perfect 100, not catching that Lucid. That thing was gone. It was pretty cool. If you want launches, man, EVs, holy shit. They are very good at those. Yeah, I think that's about it for tonight. I know I covered a whole bunch of stuff, and I know my mic was jacked up earlier, so I apologize. Hopefully you guys learned some stuff, and hopefully that you had a good time. Oh, Brian, that's right. You don't know me, like, at all. First off, it's almost 1 a.m. here, and I'll probably have 2 more of these before I crash out. So, just to give you a little insight. When I say sponsored by Rockstar, I'm not kidding. I wish. Liz, you make a very good point. The Viper did sound way better than the Lucid. But then again, there's farts that sound better than Lucids. I mean, because they don't make any noise. All you hear is like the gravel coming up. It's very uneventful sound-wise. When you're in the car, it's absolutely eventful. Absolutely eventful. So, you guys, let me know what you think about doing, what's coming regarding the computerized side of this, of what's going to happen with shows, what's going to happen with content, what's going to make the cut, what's going to fall by the wayside. Yeah. Aura runs great. Yeah. What do you think the direction is going to be, and what do you want to see the direction be? And I guess if you want to, you can throw in there, what are you fearful of? What don't you want it to become? Do you not want it to become just so pinpoint specific that you're only ever ingesting very specific content, or do you want it a little more broad and some sprinkles of other stuff in there? What do you want to see? And what scares the hell out of you? If it's the privacy aspect, that's gone, man. Like I said, if it's free, you're the product. So if that's it, YouTube's free. You can sign up and do all of this stuff. It didn't cost me a dime. So I'm the product. I am what's being bought and sold. And currently I'm okay with that. If I wasn't okay with it, I wouldn't do any of this shit. But you need to kind of figure out what level of acceptance you're okay with. Are you okay with being influenced massively, or are you are you very particular and very private? Some people are not into it at all. My friend Kreger is a huge computer guy. He is not into it at all. Not into it. He's not fearful of security or anything. He just doesn't want any part of it. Brian, you have a good point. AI will have a better memory than you. You can have an eidetic memory. AI will still beat it. So that's where it gets kind of scary, because you don't remember what you had for lunch first week of 3rd grade. AI does. It does remember that. So it has a memory, and it'll put all vindictive women to shame. It has an incredible memory. Absolutely incredible memory. So that's where it gets a little, a little weird too. It can pull references from that, and you subconsciously you might remember it, but you don't actually. I don't remember what was on the lunch menu in third grade, first week, second week of school. So kind of kind of got to accept that one too. Um, of YouTube. I don't know what that relates to, Gabe. What do we got here? That's a good point, Liz. Definitely, we avoid conflict more than we engage it. And I would say that's a majority of the human race. And we prefer flight over fight. Absolutely. So when we accept it, we're like, all right, well, it's not really that bad until you find out how bad it is. Either what they're doing with that information or what they're delivering to you with that information, whether it's this is the same crap content over and over and over again. You know, how many times do I need to watch piston rings get adjusted on a 2JZ? How many times do I need to watch that? You know, can I see something different? Can I see, you know, I don't know. We used to have a joke at my other shop. The group would joke. We would do, we would do this, and it was very funny. Never worked, but we would do this: big boobs, Brazilian butts, bunt cakes, and we would say that into our locked phone just to see what would come up. You know, the next time we're doing a search, or we're on YouTube, or we're on social media, what pops up in the recommended, what pops up in our ads. And never did any one of those things. Well, I'm sure the first two probably popped up just kind of randomly, but the third one never came up. No one ever got that in years of doing that at the shop. So I mean, you can try. You do, you know, do a fun phrase at your shop, or at your house, and just randomly during the day, just pick up your locked phone. It needs to be closed, locked up, and just do that phrase. You know, whatever it is. Pick out 3 things and just say those 3 things into your phone. Put it back in your pocket. See what happens. That's where it gets really terrifying. You have a locked phone. The camera's not on. The mic's not on. It is locked. Should not be doing anything but, you know, hanging out in there. And all of a sudden, you know, one of those 3 things shows up. I had something very odd, and it doesn't really have to happen with anything on your phone, like emails or text messages. They'll rip through all your text messages. Apple rips through all your text messages, everything. Every single word, every single letter, every space, every emoji, all of it. But I had a conversation. I was having a conversation with these people via email, and never once mentioned the location. It was a real estate thing. Never once mentioned the town name, except during phone calls with these people. Actual live phone calls was when the town name was mentioned, only a couple of times. Maybe over the course of 4 or 5 years, maybe twice the town name was mentioned. And all of a sudden, on social media, on Instagram and on Facebook, I see recommendations for travel to this town. It's a very tiny town. Not a lot of people travel there. Weird, you know, encyclopedic facts about this town and how close it is to the coast and all of this other stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, you guys are obviously listening to my phone calls, because I've never mentioned this in my life anywhere else outside of these couple of phone calls. And you guys are being very specific with targeting this stuff and sending it to me. So they're listening all the time. All the time. Most of the stuff you say isn't bad. You know, it's not hurtful. It's not harmful. You know, but you worry about the whole Minority Report. Oh, you said, you know, oh, XYZ is a bad person. Now, do they think you're going to hurt that person or cause harm or harm yourself can they like pre-crime it, and arrest you before and even you do rob a bank or whatever, just because you were joking about bank robbers? Where does the line get crossed? So that's the terrifying thing. And it happens, like I said, it happens in all these different aspects of your life. Whether you're buying groceries, whether you're racing at the track, whether you are talking to your grandkids, whether you are doing whatever, that it infiltrates all of that and it keeps it all in that little file, and it gets bought and sold. And that's what's coming to you guys. There's not really a good way to avoid it. At least I don't think there is a good way now. Hopefully someone comes up with something. That would be cool. What do we got here? Brian, that's a really good one. You should definitely stick with that. Try it for like a week. See what happens. Let me know. Liz, another good set. Another very good set. Try it for a week. See what happens. Let me know. I'm curious. Uh, it's so weird. It's so weird when you notice it. Most of the time, it's very subtle and you won't notice it. But when you do, you're just like, oh my God, really? They read that text. They went through that, 3 years worth of text with that person and they found that one word and they focused on that. And you're like, really? That's it? Okay. There was way more saucy shit in there, but they decided to stick with that one word. You know, I don't want to say the word because then the ads come in. So, and I don't want to mess you guys up either. That's my fear. I say something here, I say Dodge Viper. All of a sudden, you guys are just inundated with Viper stuff. I don't want to do that to you guys. So I'm trying to be careful and sort of generic in the words so that you guys don't get messed up with this. It's hard though. It's hard because you want to be detailed and you want to be specific and you want to be helpful. But at the same time, you don't want to make it worse by saying these things. It's tough, man. It is really tough. That's why, like I talked about last night, and I talked about on my live yesterday, was seeing guys like Stacey David, who we already know what's coming. We've watched the show once. We know the format. We know what's coming. We know what is going to be advertised. We know that we're going to get solid information from a very knowledgeable guy. But we also know that it's a half-hour ad. We're not, they're going to do 2 or 3 products and they're going to advertise them. We know that. We knew that ahead of time. We're ready for it. And we're actually excited for it because we like his knowledge. We like the way he does stuff. Yeah, let's go and watch his content and see how he does that. We're already expecting. We don't get surprised. We don't get surprised on the back end after we've watched the show. An ad pops up for. Let's do one. All right, let's do something he would do on his show that I've also messed with. Let's do Holly Sniper EFI. So he's going to show us how to install it on whatever, a Yanko Nova. And cool. All right, let's see that. I'd love to see a Yanko Nova. Those are crazy rare cars. They're very nice. Cool. Let's see him modernize it with this, this Holly EFI system. Oh, great. And they did very slick wiring, and that's cool. All right, cranked over second time. Perfect. I knew that it was an ad for that system, and I knew that I knew that when I turned on the channel. Back when I turned on the TV, the 30-inch Sanyo TV with there was a little spot to put the remote. It was a super thin line remote. The remote was it was like this. So it was about yay big, and it was square. The end was square. It was rectangular monolith, and it had a little slot. The TV had a little slot in the front where you could stash the remote, and it was just a little click in, click out thing. So when I watched that show, I was like, okay, I know what's coming. I know this is going to be an ad for something. He's going to promote it, but I also know that he doesn't have crap on his show, so it's going to be actually a good product. I don't have to worry about it being, garbage. It'll actually be legit. I might not use it, but it'll be a legit product. So that was always good to know that kind of ahead of time versus getting it on the back end. It comes back around and it's like, oh yeah, I watched that show about Holly Sniper. I watched a video about Holly Sniper EFI systems to see if it was right for me. Now I'm just flooded with EFI ads, and not only from Holly, but also from the competition, from everyone else. Like I said, advertisers don't care; they'll send everybody out there. So, they're getting paid to hammer everyone. They're gonna send it out to everyone. So, find that middle ground. Find out where you're happy, right? Yeah. Okay. Liz is all bummed. She's gonna get more Viper stuff. Um, it's kind of scary, but like I said, and like you guys said earlier, we were talking about. Hopefully, that steers in the positive direction of what we want more of. Not, I hate going to whatever media site because they are way too focused on stuff, and I never get any of the content outside of that. You don't want to stay, if you do a laser beam of advertising and content, you're never going to get people out of that. You're never going to broaden your scope. Maybe that's what people want. They want you to stay, laser focused on whatever it is. Does that help you sell more stuff? Maybe if you broaden out a little bit, widen that beam a little, you might sell more stuff. Maybe. I don't know. It's interesting to see what happens. The other amazing part is that the speed at which it happens. Like our family, we were in Nielsen House, so we filled out these forms, what we watched and how long we watched it for, and all this stuff. They obviously don't do that stuff anymore. It's all computerized, but the information was slow in getting back to Nielsen, and then they would have the Nielsen ratings, and this show was popular, this show was popular, and they had to, put all that together. Now it's instantaneous. And I can tell you it's instantaneous because right now, up here, where is it? Right there. I can tell you how many people are watching, and I can tell you how many likes I've gotten, and I can tell you how long I've been online, how long, at the end of this, when I turn this off, it'll tell me how many people have watched, how long the average watch time for each person. And so it gives me like super basic stats instantaneously. If I want to go deeper, I can go in and I can see how many people watched and at what point were the most people watching. I can go in and do all that analytics. If I was getting paid for that, I would probably do all of it. But you can go super deep and get very specific and find out the one word, is is what people like. Are you serious? Let me hang on. It's 1:00 in the morning. Just go to YouTube and in the search bar, type in okay, sorry. We'll see if they come online. Um, Also, there's another AI thing that God, I hope they improve this. It's gotten a lot better in the last decade and actually in the last 30 years, but they really, really, really need to work on that, and that is talk to text. I find talk to text very, very, very helpful, and I've been using it more and more, especially with the amount of travel that I'm doing and the amount of doing car stuff. It's very helpful. So the problem is I'm doing this and then I have to go back and edit it, and that's the downside. So if AI could improve that, that would be very nice. And then let me hang on one second and say something in the chat so I know you're there! Exclamation point. Okay, so we might have. Okay, so if another person just popped on, and they're the person that's messaging me, or they're the person that's calling me. Hang on one second. Hey, I'm actually live streaming right now. No, 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 no. Hop on the live stream and I'll talk to you there. It's on YouTube. Just go to Kev's shop. Oh, yeah, yeah. Hop on YouTube. Okay, bye. Very, very good friend of mine. And she was like, the link didn't work on, I don't remember what she said. I think Facebook. And I said, just hop on YouTube and just type in Kev's shop. So I thought she joined here, but she hopefully will soon. And I told her to say something in the group message. So that's very funny. Oh, and that's something else. And I know Gabe's seen this too. We were talking about things progressing and getting better. When Gabe and I were doing Gem Fest, and this is 25 years ago, we were actually kind of, I don't want to, I'm not going to showboat us or name drop or anything like that. We were very cutting edge with live streaming. We were very cutting edge. We were doing stuff that no one was doing. When we would have, when we would do these events, we would webcast these events, and there would be 80 or 100 people in the audience, and the artist was like, how come there's no one here? Well, that's because most of them are online, and it was very difficult for them to understand that back then in the early 2000s. They're like, you mean there's 8,000 people actually watching right now? Yeah, yeah, but there's only 80 people in the crowd. It was very different and very difficult. Now that has become sort of normal. I would say audiences or artists are used to large audiences, but they also understand there's a massive, massive crowd out there. So when Gabe and I, with the help of our buddy Leon, who was fantastic with this, and you guys have seen Leon on here, we started live streaming stuff way, way, way before a ton of people were doing it. I don't think Mr. Beast was born yet when we started streaming. So we were doing this stuff, and we're doing this with like blue and white Max. And I mean, we're trying as hard as we can to get 480 by 240 out there to everyone and get the audio set and all of this. It was not easy back in those days. We wanted, we always asked the hotels for Ethernet. We need a hardwire system, and it was very difficult, but we powered through it, and we figured out how to do all this stuff. And it made it a lot easier down the road. And eventually artists kind of understood you can have a small crowd in person, but you can have a huge crowd out there. So oh, Trina's up. She's watching Q1. Hey, Trina, I got one for you. Where did I put it? I put it up here. Look at this. Is this a poncho? It feels kind of like a rain poncho. It's like, it doesn't say what it is, but I figured you would know what it is. It's a poncho. Okay, cool. I was cleaning out the back of the Viper, and it was in one of the bags in the Viper, and I didn't want to, it's in pristine condition, new in bags. So I don't want to, I don't, when I put it on eBay, I don't want to screw it up. The Viper, you'd asked earlier what's going on with the Viper. We're going to an event at Bradenton Motorsports Park tomorrow. It is put on by what's called Florida Street Scene. and there's drag racing and drifting and a bunch of other stuff that they're doing tomorrow afternoon, which is Bradenton Motorsports Park is right next door to Freedom Factory. And so I've got some friends from Tampa and nearby areas, and we're going to meet up, grab some lunch, and then go out there. So I'll probably do a live stream from the Viper and on the way up to the event. I'll put that up on Facebook and Instagram. So it should be a good time tomorrow. The last one we were at, it got rained out. We weren't sure if it was going to rain or if it wasn't going to rain, or it kind of sprinkled and then it stopped and all this other stuff. No, that's a real poncho. It's a real poncho. Yep. Yeah. No, Gabe, I got what you were going for. It's a real poncho. There's another one. Trina brings up a good aspect too, with regards to racing. We all moved to sims. Sims are far more safe. Sims are getting pretty accurate and pretty realistic. Are we moving to just sim racing? It's kind of hard to die in a sim, right? Less injuries, no fire. Well, I guess you can still have fire, but a lot less fire. So do we start moving to that, right? It does cost less, although I've seen some of the sim rigs, and Trina, I know you've seen the sim rigs too. They're serious. They're like cars, no engine, but the suspension's fully on there, and it's all actuated and steering and feedback, and it's the real deal. Like you get in, and then all the screens are like right around the. I mean, they're serious, and then they have full articulation stuff. They have serious rigs. So for racing and stuff, for the other aspects, do we start just watching sim racing instead of actually watching them at Spa or watching them at Vegas or Monaco? That would be kind of disappointing because there are crazy nostalgic races like racing at Spa and racing at Monaco. These are huge. These are iconic things in a sport that, like Monaco has been around for a very, very long time. It would kind of suck for it to just be digital Monaco. I don't think it would be the same. Yeah, Brian, I'm selling my sim if you have any interest. It's in Ohio, though. You probably don't want it. That's the thing. How far does this go? How many aspects of our life does it take over? If we're doing car stuff now, or if someone else like Gabe is doing guitar stuff, how much AI stuff goes into the car stuff? In the music world, AI is huge. It is huge, and I don't want to steal anyone's tagline. It is huge. So the influence in AI is going to be worldwide, culture-wide. Everyone's going to be affected by it. You would have to literally be off the grid in a hole or deceased and even when you're deceased, AI is going to take your info and sell it. So you would have to be pretty damn anonymous to not be affected by AI. In the music world, it's huge. They're making, they're making me sound good. They can take my guitar playing and make me sound damn good. Yeah, it's pretty interesting in the music world. I see a lot of musicians having fun with it and doing parodies. And what was one I watched? There's a guy, and he does these covers, and they're actually very funny. They combined. At the beginning of the video, he called up his friends. Hey, man, I've got this great idea. It was Evanescence's "Bring Me to Life" covered, but if Creed wrote it, and I lost it. I was laughing so hard at this video. It was very funny. The guys did a really good job with it. It was really really funny. That's not AI. That's human creativity, but you're going to get things like that from AI. It starts off with us. We have this idea, and it pops up, and now AI can take that and they'll run with it. And they're going to do, you know, KC and the Sunshine Band and Flotsam and Jetsam, and they're going to do these combinations that are just way out there. Be careful, you know. I still think we have some saving grace with art, with what's inside of us that cannot be intelligence-sized. I don't know how to explain it, but we have something. Band shirts are designed by AI. Okay. We have something inside of us that creativity and that idea and that heart and that belief is very hard. That's what AI is struggling with, and that is what all the algorithms are struggling with, and they will forever struggle with, is that internal thing that we have as humans to feel, to have that internal feeling, to feel love, to feel sadness, to feel joy, to feel, you know, all of that stuff. It's very difficult for AI to feel that, which makes it harder for them to express it. They can read all about it and they can learn all about it, but they're never going to actually experience it. So everyone's experience is different with that, with all of those different kinds of emotions and feelings. AI, it would be very difficult for AI to come in and do all of those at once. And it changes, and that changes screw up AI because it's very focused on this path. It's like, you know, ABC, 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 and then you throw a 1, 2, 3 in there, and it's like, oh crap, it goes off to the side. Yeah, Trina, that would be disappointing if that happens. It really would be. Yeah. Brian, I like that with plankton. Yeah, that's great. Um, yeah, Gabe, I don't think AI can do music fully, and I don't think it can do art in general fully. Um, the one thing that that I do hope it does is copies all of Yoko Ono's works and then deletes them. I think you can, save file and then remove them from the planet. Just keep it on a hard drive somewhere so no one has to hear that ever again. That's my, I guess that's my hope with music. Everything else, cool. Keep going. You guys are great. Yeah. So that's it. That would be it for me. Whoa. My watch is trying to change faces. Um, so yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight, and I appreciate you guys' input. There's a myriad of aspects with all of this, and like I said, with all these shows getting canceled or getting turned off, and another one I didn't realize yesterday was Donut Media is dispersing or disbanding or whatever. So there's another media outlet that's going away. Um, all these things that we enjoyed watching, they're going away. Some guys are picking it up. Ben Collins is trying to do that, but it's hard without the other three guys. But Ben's doing what he can. He's a cool guy. He's definitely got skills. So hopefully people pick up on that. I don't know. It's difficult, and humans are finicky. We're very fickle creatures. So good luck, AI. You guys have your work cut out for you. But you also have that ability to go 24/7, 365, and at incredible speeds. So you definitely have an advantage, but you're going to need it. You're definitely going to need it. Oh, God, Gabe, that's awesome. God. That's a lot of microphones, Gabe. I agree with you, but that's a lot of mics. Um, in this room alone, let's see, one, two, just in the garage here, three, four, just in the garage here, 4 microphones. So yeah, that's a good one. God, and I apologize about my hair, you guys. I've been running around. It got styled by the Viper earlier, and I just noticed how absolutely out of control it is. Start the paperwork, yeah. Call the attorney. Helen, call my lawyer. Yeah, thanks you guys very much for hanging out tonight. I really appreciate it, and hopefully that's some insight into what's coming and how we deal with it and how we, like I said earlier, I want us to take it by the reins and we guide it versus it guiding us. And I'd rather be on a saddle on a horse than have a horse saddle me. That is for damn sure. So I hope that in the future we can do that stuff and we can guide it to, the content that we want. We can go on a nice horse ride, through the mountains and find all of the really cool stuff that we like. And fine, we get the ads mixed in with it. That's part of the deal. But yeah, hopefully it's not the other way around, because that makes for a very long existence. Very long. So yeah, if you guys have any ideas, comments, whatever, definitely put them below. Shoot me a message, whatever you'd like. Happy to look at it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Trina, I think you're subscribed. I'm pretty sure Trina's subscribed. I think she was one of the first ones in here. And definitely tell folks about it. We'll be doing a lot more stuff down here in Florida. I've got Miata parts ordered, like I said, and we'll be doing more Miata stuff. I don't really have a ton of stuff to do on the Viper aside from new tires, but the Viper's in absolutely great shape. So I'll just keep keeping it clean. Motorcycles are in great shape, and I might do stuff with the blue truck before it gets sold. We'll see how that works. I know you guys like this stuff. I know you like the simplicity and the honesty of my content. The no editing, no bullshit, no advertising. I don't know. YouTube might advertise, but I'm not getting paid anything. So if they're advertising, more power to them. But you guys like this, and I'll keep bringing it to you, like I said, for as long as I can. I love doing it. So think about it. Let me know what you think. And if you come up with a cool concept or whatever, definitely let me know. I'm interested in all the different aspects of this, the actual human aspect, the AI aspect, all of that. Getting those two to work together is a really cool thing. I'm pretty jazzed about it. I'm excited for the future. Just there's so many different directions we can go. Before it was only a few different directions. Now we have this huge wide array of stuff we can do. So I'm ready for it. Just sort of, which way do I want to go? A little east, a little west? Do I want to go that way or that way? It's a little different now. What do we got? All right, Gabe, have a good night. Brian, the MR6 is currently in Columbus, Ohio. And I'll be going back, I believe, right after Thanksgiving. I'm going back to Columbus to prep it for our race at Road Atlanta on the 14th and 15th. So MR6 is up there, and both of my race cars stay in Ohio for the time being, mainly because I don't have room down here. I only have a 3-car garage, and I have the Miata, the Viper, the truck, and the 2 motorcycles. So I don't have a ton of room. The limo is coming down, and my Jeep is coming down as well, along with the gray truck. So I have a lot of vehicles and I have a very small space, and I don't really want the house to look like a used car lot. So trying to maintain and keep things clean here. The blue truck's going to get sold. And like I said, I'm going to keep the race cars in Ohio for, as long as I can. That's solid storage for them. And also with the race cars being there, most of the tracks we go to, mid-Ohio and VIR and all that stuff are within 6-8 hours of Columbus versus 6 or 8 hours here, I barely get to the state line. So, it's 5 hours to Jacksonville. So it's better to have that stuff up there and just go to tracks. And, pit race is 3 hours from there. From here, it's 11 hours. So, yeah. It's actually 14 hours from here, 11, and then 3 over to Pittsburgh. So it makes sense to keep the race cars up there. But when I'm back, we'll be doing tons of race car stuff, including the graphics for the theme. And we're also going to be doing the new taillights. Brian DePaul picked up a nice set of taillights for the car. So we'll have actually brake lights, and it will look, except for that dent in the rear quarter, the car will look it'll look really nice. And it'll drive great. We're super excited about it. So I'll be doing tons of that. I'll be taking the laptop up there and the phones, and we'll be doing lives from my shop up there when I'm up there. And then we'll also be doing lives from Road Atlanta. And on this channel, we'll be doing live streaming from inside the car as we're racing. Hey, CJ. That is a Gen 4. That's a 2008, first year of the Gen 4. Very awesome car. It's my third Viper, and I'm super, super, super happy with it. It took me a little while to get used to electronic throttle bodies, but no problem. No problem. I still prefer a cable. That's just me. That's what I grew up with. No matter how much I dial this stuff in, I still feel that delay in the pedal. That's just me. The Princess and the Pea, right? I can feel the little piece of, butterfly wing underneath my shoe as I walk down the street. Yeah, CJ, I agree. Gen 3, Gen 4s look great. I like all the generations, but if I have a stack of cash, I'm going to go Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5. That's just me. I think Gen 2s are beautiful. I think Gen 1s are, a great rough sketch. It's the best way to put that. A great Gen 1. That's probably the best way to put that. Yeah. I would love to get a Voodoo 2. Unfortunately, they are extremely rare. They only made 31 of them, and they are priced so astronomically now that I had a choice. I could buy this house or I could buy a Voodoo 2. So I bought the house instead. Hopefully that was a smart choice. The car in the back is a 1996 Mazda Miata. That is a NA. We're doing new power steering lines and headlight adjustment screws and grommets. And it's up on jack stands just so I can get to the power steering lines from underneath. The Miata is an awesome car. So I have the full-size Viper, and then I have the fun-size Viper. Miata is fantastic, man. Anyone who tells you, oh, Miata's so slow, and does your boyfriend know you have the car and all that, forget that shit. Get behind the wheel, go drive one, go rip it down a country road, come back. I will bet you $1 you are on Facebook Marketplace searching for a Miata. That's how much fun those cars are. That's how much fun they are. And they used to be very cheap. You used to be able to get a really nice one for under $5,000. Now you can get a complete shitbox one for $5,000, and the nice ones are about 10 grand. That one I got for $3,500 more than 10 years ago, and I've done a ton of work to it. Fresh engine rebuild, Boss Frog roll bar, coilovers, powder coated control arms, all this stuff. Tons and tons, braided lines, Cerakoted engine parts, tons and tons of stuff to it. It is a really great car. Highly recommended. So That's about it for tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging out, and I appreciate your discussion. Please let me know what you think about the AI aspect and the algorithm aspect of what it's going to bring to the car culture. If you think it's a good thing, if you think it's a bad thing, if you think we're in control of it and we need to direct them in the right way, cool. I'm all for it. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious about it, and I will catch you on the next live. We'll definitely do one this weekend, probably tomorrow night, uh, depending on what time I get back from Bradenton. I might do one tomorrow night, but I might also save it for Sunday and do some stuff on the truck just to sort of get back into holding tools and actually using stuff with my hands instead of using this tool. So yeah, we'll get into stuff. It'll be a lot of fun. So thanks you guys very much for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing and passing the word along. I really appreciate that part. That's awesome. And I almost fell over. Don't forget to show someone that you love them. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Give them a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it is far more important for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. I will catch you on the next live, hopefully tomorrow night, but definitely on Sunday. All right. Thanks, everyone.